Stop losing your power. Just stop. Okay, so what do I mean by that? There's things that we all do, which is just basically us handing away our power. So those things could be being reactive. Someone might say something you don't like, a comment, and you react. That's you giving away your power. Another way could be if you're feeling, for example, anxious, and instead of sitting with your feelings, you then go and eat a cake. That's you giving away your power. For example, another way could be if you've got lots of things to do, and instead of doing those things, which will then make you feel more at ease and more relaxed and be able to have a pleasant evening, you go and spend an hour scrolling on your phone. So that is giving away your power. I do this, but I am going to change it. I'm aware that I do it, and the first step to changing something is being aware of it. So I'm hoping by this video to bring the awareness to you that if you do want to change it, here now you can be aware of it, and then you have the capability to do something about it. So just in the awareness of this, it is going to reduce how many times you do it. So say, for example, next time you're scrolling on your phone, you're not just going to be zombie scrolling through your phone. There's going to be a part of you which is aware that you're now procrastinating. So let's get ahead of that. Let's get ahead of our own bullshit. So what I did with scrolling through my phone, was to go with that example, I downloaded certain apps like chess, like maths, like brain teasing apps, right? Which can sound a bit like, okay, that's just me, like something I wanted to improve my logic skills, for example. So whenever I do pick up my phone, instead of me going on Instagram or going on Facebook or whatever, instead of me procrastinating, I'll then go on those apps because that's something that I'm intentionally choosing to do, and I know it's going to be beneficial for me to do that. And like I said, it's a choice. So it feels more like I am the director of the ship. I'm not getting controlled by my mind. So that is one thing. Get ahead of your own bullshit and think, okay, if I, for example, we'll go to the anxiety next. If you know that you have a tendency to try and eat away your feelings when you're feeling anxious, say, get ahead of that, get ahead of your bullshit, and think of alternative ways that you can deal with these emotions. And the thing is, when we deal with these emotions and when we face them, when we feel them, you're actually eliminating them. They're not getting stored away in your body. You're actually facing them, feeling them. They're allowed to then flow through your body instead of getting stuck. So this is completely in your best interests and for your highest good to do this, to face and feel things. So when you realise and recognise that this is in my best interest, let's get ahead of that self-sabotage, you could say, and let's think of what you can do instead. So, for example, for me, if I feel anxious, movement is what makes me feel so much better. And it can literally just be putting some tunes, just be my body, intentionally, free-flowing, unintentionally, I should say, free-flowing, and just get my body moving. And in doing that, wow, like I feel like I've shifted the stagnant energy, the anxiety is reducing, and it really, really helps. Especially if you get music on, you don't have to do that, but it just adds another level of like enjoyment and pleasure and just getting into your own world and just romanticising your life, you could say. So yeah, I'm ahead of my own bullshit. I'm recognising when I feel anxious, I can go and do that. But it's good to give yourself some options. I could do that. I could literally go and light some incense. That helps me. Some lavender. That helps me. Do something artistic. Express myself in a positive way. Write my thoughts down in a journal, because then even if I'm feeling anxious and I'm not really able to deal with it there and then, if I write it down when I've grounded myself a bit later on or whenever, I can then go back into the journal and then actually assess the situation in a more stronger, grounded place and understand what it is that it means, why am I feeling like this, really sort of trying to understand these feelings instead of trying to push them away. Because at the end of the day, if we push them away, it's literally like brushing dust under a rug. Like, we're going to keep brushing this dust, and then the rug's just going to get taller and taller over all this dust. So it's not going to go away when we try and push it away. I understand why we do this. I totally get it, but it's just not going to help us. It's not in our best interest. So we just want to just sit with it, face it, feel it. And in doing these things, we are bringing the power back to us. And it's not easy. It doesn't have to be hard, put it that way, but it comes with practice, especially when we're used to just constantly eating away our feelings, for example. It's not going to happen overnight, but with practice, with intentional practice, you, like a seesaw, you're going to tip the balance in your favour more and more each time, and bringing the power back to you. And wow, when you fully realise and understand the sheer power you hold, wow, your life will take such a dramatic turn, because this power will seep into so many aspects of your life. And whilst we're talking about power, also the power of your voice. That is a very, very key one when it comes to not giving your power away. So, power of your voice. It can be in how you speak to yourself. That's a big one. That's a really big one. So when you're saying to yourself, oh, I'm so stupid, why did I do that? You're giving your power away. So just in that relatively small thing, it's not small, and it can have a really negative impact on how you see yourself, the space that you take up in the world. So that's the first thing, is be mindful that you're not handing your power away by speaking to yourself in a unsupportive, unkind manner. And the second thing on the power of your voice is how you speak with other people. So decide that you have something powerful to say. Decide that you have something important to say, because you do. And there's a big difference. Like, I've literally felt it, where you're just saying something because you feel awkward, or you're trying to fill a space and you're just trying to say something, so then the attention will all go away from you. There's that, or there's saying something with absolute certainty, absolute intention, absolute self-belief, where people actually listen to what you have to say. There's a big difference. Fundamentally, that difference is you've brought the power back to you. Give these things a try, and think about ways in your life right now that you're giving your power away, and get ahead of your own bullshit, and think of alternatives that you can try and you can practice. Even if you don't do the thing that you would prefer to do all the time, it's okay. This is a process. You are on the journey of getting there, so we're not going to be hard on ourselves, but as often as you can, do the alternative, do the alternative, do the alternative. Like a seesaw, you'll be tipping the balance in your favour and bringing the power back to you. So here is to our success.